Parshas Vaeschanan. Vaeschanan el Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu desperately wanted to enter Eretz Yisrael. And the Chazal tell us that he davened 515 different prayers to be able to enter Eretz Yisrael. Keminyan Vaeschanan. Chazal tell us it was like the same number as the word Vaeschanan, which comes to be 515. 515 Shemona Esrei he davened to get into Eretz Yisrael. Not 10, not 20, not 100, not 200, not 300, not 400. Incredible. He davened 515 tefillos that he should enter Eretz Yisrael. And the question is, Gewalt, he sounds like a desperate person, desperate human being. When somebody is so desperate, he has nothing, he davened so hard, Moshe Rabbeinu had everything. He was zeichet to everything. He spoke to Hashem, ponim el ponim, and v'loi kom kanovi. There was no other prophet ever reached the level of Moshe Rabbeinu. He had everything in the world. Now, why is he davening like a desperate person 515 times? He's stealing Shemona Esrei for this, to enter Eretz Yisrael. So, Chazal, basically, the Gemara in Saita Yudalid, the Gemara says, Mibnei man isave Moshe Rabbeinu likonos le'Eretz Yisrael. Why did Moshe Rabbeinu have such a desire to enter Eretz Yisrael? Did he need the Yafa oranges to enjoy? No. Ela kach oma Moshe Rabbeinu. This is what Moshe Rabbeinu said. Harbe mitzvahs nistavu Yisrael. Klal Yisrael were commanded to do many mitzvahs. Ve'ein miskaimin ela be'eretz Yisrael. Not mitzvahs hatluyas ba'aretz, mitzvahs that are only in Eretz Yisrael cannot be done elsewhere. So that's why he wanted so desperately to enter Eretz Yisrael. And from here we see one thing. We can learn this in application to our lives. We just see what it means, a mitzvah. How precious, how very precious each and every mitzvah is. Moshe Rabbeinu was desperate, like a desperate human being. He had everything, but he had to daven 515 tefillas. He davened 515 tefillas. Maybe he'll be zeicha. Maybe he'll have the privilege of doing those mitzvahs that he can't do in Chutz La'aretz. So we see the preciousness of each mitzvah. But now the question continues. If Moshe Rabbeinu is in Chutz La'aretz, that means he does not have an obligation to do the mitzvahs hatluyas ba'aretz, mitzvahs of Eretz Yisrael. He's in Chutz La'aretz. He's potter. So why is he davening so hard to get into Eretz Yisrael? He's potter from doing those mitzvahs. But perhaps we see another very important point, that Moshe Rabbeinu understood the meaning of each mitzvah, and even though he was potter, even though he was in Chutz La'aretz, and there was no obligation for him to do the mitzvahs of one living in Eretz Yisrael, but he desperately wanted to put himself into a situation where he too would have the privilege of doing those mitzvahs. Even if he's potter right now, even if he's in Chutz La'aretz, and it's not expected of him to do the mitzvahs of one living in Eretz Yisrael, he's potter. Nevertheless, he so desperately wanted to do all the mitzvahs of Hashem that he davened to be able to enter Eretz Yisrael, so he would be in the situation where he would have to do it. This is the preciousness of each mitzvah. Each and every mitzvah, and even if I'm not obligated to them, to put myself into a situation where I would have to do it. So this is the Musar scale that we learned, the tremendous inyan, how precious each and every mitzvah is, and how we should feel so fortunate that we have the schuz, the privilege, and the obligation to do Hashem's will of doing His mitzvahs. We should feel it a tremendously precious thing to be able to fulfill the mitzvahs of Hashem. We should be zeicher to do it right. Amen v'amen.